What is your most controversial cooking opinion? Red onions should be called purple onions. Meal prep is just eating leftovers all week. MSG works. This is a safe space, but I'll be honest, some of these are really hard to upvote. This is what I asked for, but I am suffering with my newfound knowledge of how you heathens cook. Not all moms or grandmas are amazing cooks. Yes, my mom has some good dishes she makes, but nuking Brussels sprouts in the microwave with orange marmalade is not one of them. In a pinch, you can sub plain yogurt for all kinds of liquids. Recipes are only opinions. Feel free to mix things up as you see fit. People in my household go berserk when I suggest this. The cream cheese-based crock-pot dinners are the modern equivalent of Jell-O-based dinners from the 50s. I cook better than my wife. Trust me, it's very controversial. How to say pecan? I swear my family has gone to war over which way to pronounce it. Avocado doesn't need to be in everything. Neither does bacon or sriracha. My boyfriend would die if he heard me say that about sriracha. Presentation barely matters to me. I've had many delicious scoops of slop. Edit. I love that this is blowing up. I didn't even have to specify what kind of slop. Everybody has their examples that apply. I am vegetarian. Most restaurants should just stop serving vegetarian dishes if they can't be bothered to make something that tastes good. You cannot just put kale, quinoa, some random veg, and a vinaigrette in a bowl and charge $25. If the dish does not otherwise require the use of hands, there should not be trails on your shrimp. I don't want to be fishing around in my damn pasta because you couldn't be bothered to remove the tails first. The meth does not have to be blue to be pure. As an adult, you should clean as you cook. Some food tastes better a little bit burnt. As an Italian, I get a lot of hate for this, but it's okay to break the spaghetti, especially if you're cooking it for kids who need to take smaller bites, that way they don't have to eat so much at one time. Heating up leftover chicken and dumping it into a bowl of ramen noodles counts as a proper meal. I am fully prepared to die on this hill. Use what you have on hand. Trust yourself to make it work. People shouldn't come over to your house and complain about how you cook something. Anyone who does that at my house is invited to leave and go to McDonald's. As a lifelong carnivore, I will say that if tofu is cooked properly, it is absolutely delicious. I would even go so far as to say I prefer it in certain dishes over animal protein. There is no such thing as too much garlic. Most people, companies do not know how to do salted caramel. Every salted caramel product I've had, homemade or otherwise, has been like mouth-puckeringly salty. The point is to lightly salt it to bring out the more subtle flavors, not literally make salty caramel. Pepper doesn't belong on everything. It doesn't enhance flavor like salt does, it just makes it more peppery. Crock pot liners feel like you're just asking for cancer. You can dislike a food simply for its texture, nothing to do with its taste. I don't mind the taste of baked beans, but I hate how slimy they are, and don't even get me started on when they're cold. Pepperonis need a little time in a pan before putting in on the pizza and in the oven. Optimize crispiness. Edit. Broke college student here, so no, I don't have a pizza oven. This is why I pre-crisp my peps. Don't oil your pasta when it's in water, it adds a layer that stops your sauce from sticking to your pasta. When I add salt to my pasta when it's in the water, I add a fucktone of salt, add like a fistful of salt for like 250 grams of dry pasta. It tastes much better. Following a recipe is cooking, but it doesn't make you a good cook. I don't think mac and cheese needs breadcrumbs. Or to be baked in the oven. I believe that you can teach yourself to tolerate certain foods if you want to. I sort of forced myself to like peas until one day I found I actually do like them. Same with scotch, smelly cheese, cigarettes and wasabi. Pasta with butter and salt is a valid meal. Edit. By the amount of comments telling me to add stuff to it, I stand by this comment being controversial. Mixing peanut butter in your butter when baking chicken adds incredible savory and sweet notes. You don't have to serve spaghetti with the sauce in a dollop on top. It's okay to mix the sauce into the spaghetti and then serve it. Especially if everyone is eating the exact same thing. Eat whatever you want however you want. My go-to example is steak. People will flat out tell you eating a steak anyway, but rare is wrong. Steak also somehow got masculinity tied to it somehow, like eating a well-done steak is somehow unmanly or something. You know the true proper way to eat a steak. Whatever way you find tastes the best. Same as any food. I'd argue that my controversial opinion is only controversial in Italy, where I come from. I like making chicken with pasta. I make it into a sauce similar to bolognese, but I'll put small chicken bits instead of the mince. My family call me a savage for eating such things together, but my boyfriend suggested me as an idea and it's now a dish I enjoy. The flavor gained from adding avocado to sandwiches isn't worth how slippery it makes them. There are multiple ways to cook rice, and that whole debate caused by that Uncle Roger video is fucking stupid. Yes, let's just invalidate how South Americans, Middle Eastern people, and countless other cultures cook their rice. SMH. Pineapple on pizza tastes good. I've done the final egg coating on apple pies with a makeup brush more times than I'd like to admit. Macaroni and cheese is much better with a dash or two of hot sauce added. Edit. Based on the comments and upvotes, perhaps this opinion isn't that controversial after all. Not my opinion, I haven't tried it, but my friend says peanut butter goes well on burgers. Lasagna tastes better the day after and being reheated in a microwave. Bacon is overrated. Adding bacon to stuff doesn't make it better. I make my mashed potatoes using a pastry cutter. Mile-high burgers and hot dogs with so many toppings you can no longer taste the meat are awful, and a pain in the ass to eat. I generally eat burgers and hot dogs because I like the flavor of the meat. I realize meat is a questionable term when it comes to hot dogs, and would like to actually taste them. Smaller portions for visual effect is absolutely awful to your guests. Like, less food, to impress me. You lost me already. Lol. You ruin candied yams by adding marshmallows. Not every meal needs to have an animal in it. I am not vegan nor do I ever intend to stop eating meat, but after moving to Costa Rica I have added a number of meatless dishes to my diet. There are some flavors that you will only get with meat, but you know having rice and beans once a week for breakfast, lunch or dinner is a great change of pace.